What's up, Gothica? Yeah, I started playing it, and I had some PC issues, so I lost my save. I was only about 20 minutes in or so I'll try it again. Okay. Give me a minute, I'll see if I can fix that up. Let's see here. There, did that make everything better? Or change anything at all? Oh, that's great. Great. Yes, you definitely should. Oh, that's not nice.
Never trust a tourist advertisement.
Thanks a lot, I really appreciate that.
Tourist advertisement.
Thanks for stopping by. Thank you, I'll try. You too.
Take your belongings off my ship first.
How do I pick stuff up? Thank you. Appreciate that. I'll catch you on yours as well.
I never have to use it, but something tells me I will.
There we go.
Now get out!
At last, Mr. Charles Reed. What a pleasure to find
Nice to meet you.
Johannes van der Berg, at your service. I did promise to meet you the moment you arrived.
Ah, much obliged, Mr. Vanderberg. I guess I didn't expect you to mean so literally.
Please call me Johannes. But where are my manners? Welcome to the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour, though it is its most important.
You said you know someone who can help me with my problem. The visions have been getting worse.
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon here in Oakmont. By chance, the man I spoke of, Robert Throgmorton, is already at the port. He has dedicated a lot of time and effort to investigate this issue. Alas, I fear he has a more pressing matter on his hands.
How can I find Mr. Throgmorton?
Don't worry, you can't miss him. Throgmorton tends to stand out from the crowd.
Okay.
I'll need a place to lay my head while I'm here. Any recommendations?
Fear not. I've already feathered a nest for you. There's a room in your name at the Devil's Reef Hotel. Here's the key.
Sounds charming.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Mr. Reed.
What's the best way to get around Oakmont? I'd like to drop my things at the hotel.
Most locals go by foot, or by boat. I've got the latter sorted for you. There's
Hey,
one
Des.
waiting outside the port.
You're too kind.
Thanks for stopping
Johannes.
in.
Can you steer me
How's
towards
your
the
night
Devil's
going?
Reef?
Take this map. I've marked the hotel and a few other key places.
Other places? Like what?
You're a private eye, yes? Well, I've highlighted the police station, city archive, newspaper. Places you'll need to get to the truth. This city is insular, its ways mysterious. No one will take you by the hand, so you better know where to turn in search of a lead.
How do you fill your days, Mr. Vanderberg?
I host a philosophy club for the
good,
like-minded
that's good.
intelligentsia, gathering seeds of thought, like moths drawn to a flame.
Does Oakmont really have much of a market for philosophy these days?
There is no consciousness without pain, Mr. Reed. No better moment for clarity than times of hardship.
Oh, that's it for now, I think. Thanks for helping me get my bearings.
No, no. The pleasure was mine, Mr. Reed.
Oh, before you go, how can I get in touch with you later?
Don't worry about
I'm doing
that.
good.
I'm the kind of man who finds...
Just got home from work and decided to play and stream some game.
I don't care about your petty excuses. No one leaves the port until my son is found, and that is fun.
Excuse me. Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested. Go away.
The name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Private investigator, you say? Well, perhaps we can help each other.
If I may ask, what happened to your son?
Why do you care? What's your angle, outsider?
Well, like I said, I'm a PI. Finding people is kind of my specialty.
Is it? Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition I commissioned. This useless fool over here says he found Albert washed ashore in a lifeboat. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind,
very
talking gibberish in some other
distinct
language.
features.
He tried to bite him.
And you don't believe him?
Complete malarkey. I know my Albert. I raised him strong and smart, the best of his kind. It couldn't have been him. Albert's disappearance is the work of Innsmouthers, mark my words.
I take it you're not the biggest fan of these Innsmouthers.
Those fish-faced freaks have overrun this city since the police burned Innsmouth to the ground. But now, those filthy migrants occupy half this damned city. The port, Grimhaven Bay, Salvation Harbor, the shells. They are everywhere.
So they're just refugees.
Hardly. They've taken work from the local fishermen. They stir and agitate against us, the Throgmorton family. We are the pillar of this community, not to mention that crime rates have skyrocketed. Simply speaking, they are a big stinking pile of trouble.
Please forgive the question, but I've never met a man quite like you before.
That's because no man measures up to the Throgmorton lineage. Proud and powerful blood flows through our veins. My
Oh, is that what
father
it is?
united with a certain royal family, which has blessed all our offspring with these exquisite features.
I've heard you're the man to speak to about visions, outbreaks of hysteria. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it myself.
Another newcomer with another problem. Yes, I know what you speak of.
Can I ask you a few questions?
How dare you? My son Albert is missing, and no one in this Innsmouth-ridden city will do a damn thing. But yes, let's talk about your dreams.
You're not very nice.
Mr. Throgmorton, let me help you. I'm rather good at tracking down missing people. I'll find Albert.
What makes you think you can do it? Oakmont is not exactly friendly to new arrivals.
Let's just say I tend to see things that others miss. And anyway, what have you got to lose? Sounds like you could use every man you can get.
Vera. You have a point, newcomer.
Sorry, did you just say Vera? What does that mean?
You had better get used to the Oakmont dialect, outsider. That is, if you want to fit in. It is a fascinating blend. Vera means fine. I was saying, we have a deal.
I see. Thank you. I need to know more about what happened to Albert.
Dane, did you not listen at all? I already told you everything. After leaving on the expedition, Albert was found on the shore in a lifeboat. This fisherman supposedly brought him to the house, and then left to call me. But when I arrived here, my son was nowhere to be seen.
Anything else?
Clearly, something suspicious occurred inside the house. I suggest you stop dawdling and go see for yourself.
Yes, sir.
Where's the house where this all happened?
For Kay's sake, I thought you were a private eye. Was standing right in front of it.
You mentioned the lifeboat. Is it still around?
Yes. Face the house, then to the left is a beach that borders a fence. You'll find it there.
As much as I'm enjoying the weather, Mr. Throgmorton, it's time for me to get started.
Find my son, newcomer, and be quick about it.
I've said everything I know.
Don't do anything stupid, newcomer. And keep your hands where I can see them.
Huh. This dog mat looks better than the owner's bed. The book is damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for. It would take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
Choo-choo. Ahem. Hello? Hey, can you...
Oh, my head. What? Who are you? Are you police? I've already told them everything.
It's okay. I'm Charles Reed, Private Eye. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
I want to know what happened here. Every detail.
I don't remember much. Me, Paul, and Lewis. We were here. This is our house. Barry was outside, on his business. Then he came back carrying Throgmorton's son. He was unconscious, barely breathing. Barry left again to call Mr. Robert.
Then what?
We put the guy in Lewis's room. Then he started to make these horrible sounds and... okay, my head began to burst. And he woke up, And after that, I don't remember a thing, just dreams. Drowned streets, a sleeping giant, a voice that called me.
That sounds familiar. Tell me about yourself.
Name's Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together. Me, poor fella Paul, Barry, and Innsmouther Lewis Flynn. We moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the rail ain't kicking anymore, so I started fishing. It was at or starve.
Where are all the other guys?
That's Paul there on the floor. Kay be with him. Barry's outside with Mr. Throgmorton. Lucky rascal missed everything. And I have no idea what Lewis or Throgmorton's son got to. Starting to suspect the worst.
Do you know how Paul died?
I don't know. When I pulled myself together, he was already gone. Kay have mercy on his soul.
Who is this Kay you keep mentioning?
Outsiders, show some respect. Kay is our lord, our light, our love.
Sorry, I didn't know. I'll leave you to it. Take care of yourself, Will.
Please, detective, sir, tell me the truth. Could it be me? Did I kill Paul? Or Kay? Did I kill him?
I don't know yet, Will. The police will stop anyone coming in or out of here, so I suggest you just try and get some rest.
I'm afraid of what I might dream.
Dreams, eh? Dreams.
There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee. I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp. Five cards short of a full house. I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here. Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much. So, that's what an Innsmouther looks like.
Okay. Let's put on my superpowers here.
Never seen knives like this before. Masterful work. I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
Okay, so I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do.
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
supposed to be something pop up here if I remember correctly. It's not really working. Okay.
I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here.
Use mind's eye whenever you see a distortion in the corners of the screen and hear a ringing sound. It may reveal images of the past, illusions, omens, or tracks that are otherwise invisible. Images of the past have an activation zone. See above. Oh, there we go.
Glenna, Nehri, Glenna, Gebheil, Nuguleina,
What?
Never seen knives like this before. Masterful work.
Take this, ape face. Yeah, run!
What's happening?
Okay, let's see what we have here.
Yeah, run!
No. Okay, so we gotta put them in order. Let's say this is one. And he ran over here and shot his pan, so we'll call this two.
What?
Take this,
Tried to
ape
get
face.
away, and this is three.
Yeah, run!
When Albert Throgmorton woke up, he was not himself. He attacked the fishermen, and his hysteria spread to them. When he got wounded, he fled.
Okay. So we gotta go to this. As an Innsmouth through Lewis and his people suffered at the hands of the Throgmortons, that could be a reason to hate them. Albert Throgmorton was dangerous and posed a threat to Lewis Flynn and his fellow fishermen. Okay. Albert and the fisherman named Lewis fled the scene after the fight, and the hosts I can track them using my supernatural sense.
My head. I still hear those voices.
signs that guide your way. Follow them to find new evidence. New evidence looks like it went outside. Come from here.
So the fisherman pursued Albert, even let off a few shots. Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong.
Can I climb? Duck.
Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high.
There we
Albert
go.
wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong. There's something in the pocket.
Lewis, please just bring me one more week. Or please just give me one more week. I know I owe you, but I'm underwater like everyone else right now. I don't yet have enough stock to operate the bar smoothly with the fuzz snooping about the port. But don't worry, I've struck a nice deal with the proper people and should have a steady supply channel soon. Just one more week and I'll return everything with double interest. Peter.
And the blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have got far.
What do I keep seeing? That is trippy.
The door won't budge. One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate.
Whoa, what the... What the hell was that?
One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate.
Lewis may have wanted to kill Albert outright because he was a Throgmorton rather than just drive him off. Lewis, the Innsmouth that killed Albert Throgmorton, may be hiding at the bar in Oakmont Port. Did I miss something? What is it making this creepy noise for? More. Okay, Dad. Thanks for stopping in. Really appreciate it. Fix me. Shit here. Mr. Throgmorton, yeah.
Mr. Throgmorton, I've encountered something.
What? I don't have all day.
Some
I don't have all day
unusual
either.
creatures, and they sure weren't friendly.
You've seen a wild beast, Mr. Reed. I'm somewhat surprised to see you still alive. Those unsettling things appeared after the flood. I've commissioned a few studies on them, but we know little more than when we started. They're aggressive, but fortunately not immune to gunfire.
Yeah, I learned that firsthand.
Try to avoid them when possible. And when you can't, keep your weapons handy.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry, but he was murdered. Shot in the head and the body hidden.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no. I don't believe it. No.
Well, I'm telling you, I've seen it. Oh, keep that cold-hearted.
My condolences, Mr. Throgmorton. I had hoped for a happier outcome.
Your condolences will not bring him back. So much of our blood spilt for nothing. So much effort in vain. My poor Albert. Tell me you know who did it. I want to look him in the eyes, make him beg for mercy.
Seems like he was a fisherman by the name of Lewis. He had a gun and pursued Albert after he fled the house.
Lewis it is, then. What do you know of him?
Turns out you were right. He's an Innsmouther.
Nah. Those filthy scum have done it now. When I'm through with them, they will rue the day they dared lay a finger on a Throgmorton. Bring me that dirtbag, Lewis. He and I are due a reckoning. Do this for me, and I'll help you with anything you need.
I can probably do that. I'm not sure where he's at, but I can probably find out.
Hey, got a spare bullet, fella? I ain't eaten in days.
If I give you a bullet, trust me, you ain't gonna want it.
You look familiar, but old Billy hasn't seen you around.
Stay alert! Monsters lurk underground. They're everywhere.
Ugh, I'll miss the carpenter's food giveaway with this darn port closure.
Come closer, troubled soul. Let me tell you what your future holds.
You're some kind of, fortune teller?
Yes, my dear, yes. Oh, it's so clear. Your path holds many surprises, newcomer.
That's
Seems
nonsense.
a little generic, don't you think?
I see many things, boy, and I will tell you them in detail for a small fee.
Alright, how much? $1?
Your money has no value here, newcomer. After the flood,
Booze,
Oakmonters
smokes, and
deal in the
bullets.
practical. Booze, smokes, and bullets. And I'll make it easier for you. I don't smoke.
Nope.
Some other time.
Nope.
Maybe.
I only
As
got like
you
4
wish.
bullets. There's no way of getting my bullets. I might need them. Now if I find some booze, you can have that. All kinds of gunpowder. Maybe I can craft stuff.
Welcome to Under the Keel. What do you want?
I'm looking for a man by the name of Lewis Flynn. Any chance he's here?
Yeah. Even if I knew, I don't rat to newcomers.
Robert Throgmorton hired me to investigate his son's disappearance. I found the note about your debt to Lewis near his cold, dead body. And it looks like Lewis murdered Robert's kid. You want him to come here and ask instead of me?
What?
Don't what me. At best, you're harboring a criminal. At worst, you're an accessory to murder.
What? No. I ain't done nothing.
Tell that to Mr. Throgmorton.
No. No. Throg. Lewis is upstairs. Here's the key.
Smart man. There's your good deed for the day. I've seen some unsettling creatures around. Like nothing I've ever encountered. What are they?
So you met a wild beast, newcomer. No one knows what they are, but consider yourself lucky to still be in one piece. They arrived in the flood. Some say they come from the sea. Others that they are Kay's punishment for us.
And what do you say?
If it bleeds, you can kill it. Keep your gun handy. And if you want to erase the memory, I sell a perfect cure right here. Remember, Better to be a coward and live than brave and dead. Unless you're a newcomer.
Bye.
What the? Get the... Oh.
I think you're a little drunk, buddy. You might need to home go.
Hey, who are you? What are you doing?
Charles Reed, private investigator. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son Albert, so I think you know why I'm here.
Throg. That darn bartender. It was all that crazy ape's fault. You hear me?
Calm down. I only want to speak, for now. But no, if you reach for your gun, you'll hit the floor faster than you can say poetic justice.
I got nothing to hide.
You shot to kill. No warning, no second chances. You pursued Albert even after he fled. Why?
I can't remember it. When he woke, it was like a bloody mist descended over me. First thing I recall after is that darn warehouse and me covered in blood. I had no idea what happened, though. I suspected it had something to do with that ape. Turns out, I was right.
Start at the beginning. What happened?
We were in our house, me, Paul, and Will. Barry'd gone to the sea. Though I told him that it would only bring bad luck. If he'd listened to me, we'd all still be alive.
Come on, Lewis. Focus.
Right. Well, Barry dragged that damn ape to our house. He was bragging about how much Mr. Throgmorton would give us for saving his son. But that ape, he was out cold. Then woke in an instant and started screaming, attacking us. After that, can't remember a thing.
What kind of... why do you... your face, it's,
Oh, so you're here to attack me just because I look different to you? Wanna spit on me, whisper to your friends? What's new?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't know how to ask. I've just never met someone like you before. I didn't mean any...
Innsmouther's bodies were blessed by the sea. You're gonna see a lot of us here, so you better get over it. We are...
The things you did to Albert don't look like a bloody rage. A fatal shot to the... One might start to wonder if it was deliberate.
I don't know what to say. I wasn't myself.
I hear there's a bit of a feud between the
Those apes hated us from the moment we arrived in Oakmont. Our home was destroyed. We just needed a place. The Blackwood Grand family sheltered us, but others were not as hospitable. We needed jobs, food, and medicine.
And so?
We had to fight for every crumb of bread. And those Throgmortons in their high castle, always conspiring behind our backs. Always setting people against us. I'd love to see them suffer like we suffered.
You mentioned a grand
So you're a newcomer?
Yeah, a newcomer with a gun.
Okay. People here are crazy about bloodlines and tradition and reputation. The head honchos of Oakmont are called the Grand Families. There's the Carpenters, who control most of the city's underworld, the Blackwoods, who share kin with Innsmouthers through the Marsh family.
And let me guess.
Right, those filthy apes. Now that most of the Blackwoods are gone, there's nobody left to protect us Innsmouthers.
I think I've got a...
Please, Mr. Reed, don't tell Throgmorton about me. I know I'm in no position to ask. I didn't want to do whatever it is I did. Honest, have mercy, please. I have a family.
I think something went wrong. I don't think he did it on purpose, so I'm not gonna tell.
I won't Tell him. Everyone seems to agree there's been an outbreak of madness around these parts. I'm inclined to believe you. Plus, it seems heartless to tear apart a family after what you've been through.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Reed.
That said, the port's still closed.
Hide here, I guess. Don't have a choice.
I'll make something up to tell Throgmorton.
Thank you again, sir.
Lewis was unaware. Lewis was aware of his actions. Lewis was mentally affected. Oh, do I have to pick one? Let me see. He wasn't. I don't know what I'm doing here right now. Lewis killed Albert Throgmorton while he was under some sort of mental influence. He couldn't control his actions and thus can't be blamed for Albert's death. I could try to cover for him, or else Robert Throgmorton will have his head. Hope that's the right thing to do. Tell Mr. Throgmorton. Give me sideburns. Oh, wait. Moonwalk. Or you can't back up like this. Who? Oh. That's a bit of a stretch. You could at least just say you couldn't find him.
I tracked the murderer down, but he was attacked by those... It was that Innsmouther fisherman, Lewis. He was covered in your son's blood. That may have attracted...
Are you certain the body is his?
Beyond any doubt. All that's left of him is a heap of flesh and a scrap of cloth. It's from his jacket. Just ask his friends.
Alas, this was my revenge to exact, not some wild beast's. Something must be done about those pests. Still, justice has been served. This is...
Mr. Throgmorton, I hate to press you, but...
Yes, you've earned it. Okay, to think a newcomer barely off the boat solves a crime the police... But I digress. Remind me, what brought you to Oakmont?
I think I'm going mad, Mr. Throgmorton. I see things, visions, and I needed to stop. I was drawn here, or guided, or I don't know. But I believe the source of this madness is here, in Oakmont.
You're not wrong, Mr. Reed. An inexplicable hysteria spread through Oakmont after the flood. I funded an expedition to explore recent geological activity that may be responsible.
A geological expedition?
I have reason to believe the flood and this madness have the same source. As above, so below. So...
Do these cases of hysteria involve shared visions as well?
Since the flood, many Oakmonters have had similar nightmares. Indeed, Professor Doe, the expedition leader, complained...
Waterlogged ruins with unnatural architecture. A sleeping giant. Drowned streets.
Her words exactly. She proposed the expedition, desperately wanting to find the cause.
Has your expedition found any?
I do not know. Albert was part of it. His passing cannot be coincidence.
you mention the flood. You think it's more than just a natural disaster.
You weren't here, Mr. Reed. What happened?
You think your son was killed because the expedition on...
Is it so hard to believe? I had no news for a week, then Albert, the only one I could trust.
It does sound suspicious.
Mr. Reed, I want you to find out what's going on. I expect you're as...
If I'm going to look into this, I'll need to know more.
I'll give you the address of the expedition's headquarters and a key.
That's all you can tell me?
Let me be clear, Reed. You do not speak to me like that again.
I'm sorry, Mr. Throckmorton. I just meant the more I know, the better.
I am a busy man. I funded the research, but left all prep. When you've finished, come see me at the Throckmorton family manor. It's in Old Grove.
What about my expense?
They will be reimbursed after you complete your task. And of course, you've earned some compensation. I'll also include a fair advance in bullets.
Bullets?
The dollar lost its use here, Mr. Reed. After the flood, Oakmont returned to bartering. Bullets mean...
Okay, so let's see what we got. We got a new gun. Oh, I can craft bullets. Nice. Okay. Trusty six-shooter, bolt Waddle Dee nickname. The Widowmaker uses powerful 44. Pistol rounds. Okay. We got first aid kit. Interceptor. Shot powerful. Keep your mind clear when you need it. Ignore the side effects list. Okay. Oh, I can craft that stuff too. That's cool. Map. This is actually fairly big. Point. Okay, set traps twice as quickly. Keep an extra bullet loaded, getting a chance to deal double damage with the pistol. Okay. Extra clip. Carry 7 more pistol rounds. That's a good one. When close to death, slowly regenerate a limited amount of health for one last fighting chance. That was a good one too. Smart pack and carry up to 25 pieces of any crafting material. Jeez, all this stuff seems like it's going to be useful. Earn more experience and stay sane for slightly longer. Didn't know I was going insane, but yeah. Let's go with this for now. The more experience I can get, the faster I can get other stuff. So we'll go to that. Lore, city, correspondence, documents, methods. Casebook. I completed that one. Key to the gaming, key to expedition. It is in the northern cover side of the crossroad of Asher Road. Northern cover side. Okay, so. Okay, cover side. And Asher Road and Hubert Ave. Asher Road, Hubert Ave. I see Asher Road, but I don't see Hubert Ave. Oh, there it is. I think that's where it goes. At the crossroad of Asher Road and Hubert Ave. Asher Road and Hubert Ave, so it's somewhere there. Okay. Well, let's see what else we can see. Probably not going to be on here a whole much more. Do some exploring before I go out. Don't currently have the ability to stream at 1080p, 1080 whatever. But if I did, this game, you guys will see it. It looks amazing. Well, that was trippy. Nice. Okay, well, this is where we stop. So I'd like to thank everybody who watched, who will watch, who liked, who will like, who subbed, and will sub. Thank you very much, and I'll see y'all next time.